Alright, what's up everybody? This is GiveUAnxiety here, joined with Mini Malts, and we are in the ESOC Challenge Cup 2021. This is the first series of the tournament. This is awesome, man. $1,000 prize pool. And so excited to be casting this, so excited to be watching this tournament, and looks like we got German mirror here, Mini Malt, in game 1 on Punjab.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Germany is kind of a powerhouse right now, and so it'll be interesting to see what these two decide to do. I know there's like some silversmith action that can happen. That instead of going for 700 coin, they go for silversmith, but we'll see.
Yeah, German mirrors are always pretty interesting. Obviously, lots of Ulans, a ton of rating potential. You can get some really crazy games in German mirrors. And there's kind of two different styles that pop out to me, that openings for Germany. Like sometimes you can do a defensive barracks and train like DOPS and try to go up to H3 quickly, or you could open stable. So there's quite a different lot of play styles in the German mirror, which is really fun to see.
Yeah, I'm sure both of these players will be going for a TP in transition. Both started market and are getting out their trying to get hunting dogs as quickly as possible. So it's pretty tricky, the start of Germany. Your macro has to be on point so that you can continually queue villagers as well as get that hunting dogs in and build your first house. So it looks as though both players are doing it quite well.
Yep. Got nearly exact same time on hunting dogs too. So, what do you think? Do you think either of these players are going to go with barracks in H2? I'm predicting at least one of them will.
Yeah, I think Mitoe tends to go for the barracks, and I'm curious maybe they both do it, but yeah.
I think barracks is kind of the more frequent opening, because it's a bit risky if you do open stable. Like, yeah, you can have a ton of rating potential, and that could be really good, but that does open you up to potentially get pushed, a down push really early.
Yeah, exactly. The DOPs kind of control the pace of the game. They get to decide, oh, I'm gonna go burn down your house, and if all you have is Ulans, you're like, well, I guess you are because I don't have any say over it.
Yeah, and then Minutemen are like super valuable in these German mirrors, because like Minutemen can be so good versus adopts, and if the micro potential you have with Minutemen, it's always really fun to watch players micro the Minutemen in like this specific matchup, and just the value you could potentially get out of them.
Hmm. So far, I think Mito's winning this H1. He's gotten 100 food, and as well, he's also gotten, he's working on this 90 or 80 wood treasure. Whereas Turk's only gotten, I think, 65 food, or 65 coin.
Yeah, so we really big if Mito can get this treasure. His Explorer is starting to get pretty low hit health. But Turk, no, he's not heading that way. He looked like he was for a bit, but
He sees it, but he doesn't really see it. He can see like at the very edge of his fog of war. But he was very active with this Mango Grove rickshaw, of which he's gotten, I think, 2, maybe just 2 of the yaks. So along this, along the river on Punjab, there will be 6 water buffalo that spawn. So you start the game with a Mango Grove rickshaw on this map, and you can run along that river until you find all the livestock that spawn there.
yeah, and Mito killing one of them right now and eating one of them right away. And he's actually researching Gangsaw right now. He actually started Gangsaw before his age up. It did slow down his age up slightly, but that's pretty interesting. Getting an early Gangsaw, and he won the Yak game 4-2, so he felt like he could do that. So yeah, I think a really good H1 for Mito. He got 4 Yaks compared to 2, and did he get 2 wood treasures there?
I think he just got the 1. He got 100 food, and then he also got a 80 um, wood. So pretty much he found a gang saw, if you think about it.
Yeah, that's very nice.
And then the other thing that a lot of people don't really do, that I know a lot of top players do, is they eat these livestocks early. Because a lot of people think, oh well, it has 500 food potential. It's like, yeah, but it's actually more beneficial sometimes to get your age up faster than to wait around for 10 minutes for these livestock to fully fatten. So there's a lot of quick, opportunity cost for eating them early that you can use to kind of snowball your advantage if you know exactly what you're doing. So seeing the top players really use these water buffaloes is pretty cool thing to see.
Yeah, and what is Turk working on now? We got Turk working on 80 coin treasure here.
Yep, and Turk already has hunting dogs, placer mines. He's gonna get steel traps as soon as he ages. So Turk got his TP up a little bit faster than Mitoe.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the decks. You mentioned silversmiths earlier. You think that's like becoming meta recently?
I think in this matchup, because the idea is this, the problem with the German mirror is a lot of times these go a little bit later and you run into running out of gold mines. However, if you have silversmiths in deck, that means that each one of these gold mines has an extra 400 coin on it.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
And so, yeah, you do get an extra 700 coin that you ship, but if you send silversmiths, it's like you get an extra 800 coin. It just takes a little bit longer for that to actually get to actually pay off. So it's kind of an understanding of going greedy versus do I need that gold now?
Yeah, and both players actually opening with a stable here. So yeah, we're not seeing a barracks opening from either of them, which is a little bit surprising. We're going to see a lot of Ulans here early.
Oh. And these fights are always so close. Whoever gets the first swing changes the entire fight.
Yeah, Turk has his Explorer here, but actually backs off there. It's always nice when you can get the Explorer and the two Ulans in the fight, and if your opponent only doesn't have his Explorer in the fight.
Yeah. Just for a few little things like snaring and the little extra damage. For instance, the if the Explorer shoots at Ulan, I think 3 times, that counts as an Ulan swing.
Yeah, or like if a Explorer or if an Ulan attacks the Explorer instead of attacking an Ulan, that's always nice. All right, here we go.
It's close, but it looks like Turk's gonna win this micro fight so far.
Yeah, pretty even.
So Turk ended up 1 ahead. And Mitoe being smart, knowing that his Ulan will just die if it stays around, so saving that Ulan is great.
Yeah, the challenge of casting Rex, I think yours is a little bit faster than mine.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's maybe because the settings, but that's okay.
I'm at 642.
Oh, yeah, I'm actually, I started at the same time as you, but I'm just getting behind you.
We can screen share the next one.
Yeah, sure.
So 8 Ulans versus 9. Just the slight little snowballs of things that happen. So I was saying for this specific group and this specific matchup that Turk is a great player. The thing that his kind of weakness, I would say, is decision making and deciding on build orders. However, where he really shines is his micro.
Yeah, Mr. Mechanics.
Yeah, he's Mr. Mechanics, and then Mitoe is on the other spectrum of being an absolute beast at executing build orders and understanding exactly what to do in what situation, and his kind of struggle point is mechanics. So it's kind of like you have the two clashes of the opposite play styles here.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting point. It's interesting. These players are mirroring each other in this build. You see, they both drop the barracks and very mirrored strategies here in this mirror.
Yeah, so they both dropped the barracks. However, Mitoe's training units, whereas Turk is not training any units. So Turk's looking to go up, but if Mitoe has pikes coming across the field, and he's gonna have another batch of Ulans and Dops coming across the field.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting going with pikes. A lot of times you see players like mixing dops here. I mean, um, yeah, obviously pikes are going to be good versus the Ulans, but it's interesting choosing pikes over the dops. But perhaps that's just better. I don't know.
I mean, it's just a little bit of extra DPS versus to sway these fights, and a little siege. So Mito's thinking that 5 dops are about to pop out, so he's trying to siege down this barracks as quickly as possible. But there's no dops on the way. And Turk could probably pop Minutemen and clean up this fight here, but he doesn't want to fight.
Yeah, this is where like defender's advantage feels quite good in these German mirrors when you can pop the Minutemen and focus on like the dops and their pikes.
Yeah, he keeps sending the Minutemen and then canceling them.
You really wanted to just get that age up in, it looked like.
Yeah, because I mean he has the age up coming in, but it's just okay, there we go. And
Yeah,
this is looking pretty bad for Turk. Like he'll clean up, but Mitoe will just follow up, having all of his calves still alive.
Yeah, you should perhaps have should call the Minutemen before the age up there.
Well, I think he should have just committed to calling the Minutemen earlier. And now Turk's gonna lose, I think, 2 settler wagons and a villager. Maybe even a 3rd settler wagon. Ooh, that's gonna be close. Yeah. Things are looking bad. Now Mitoe can just run away and go up, and the game's pretty much over. Yep, so Mitoe's just running away. He's about to click up himself, and he's done a lot of damage here.
Yeah, definitely happy with the damage he's done here, and yeah, these German mirrors are so interesting. When one player tries to like squeeze in the age 3, they're so vulnerable to counter push. It can be really hard to judge these German mirrors. Like, when do you age, or do you kind of commit more so to the age 2 a bit?
And Mitoe has shipped that. Mitoe has silversmiths in, so Mitoe did he did that build. So he did the 3 settler wagon, 700 wood into silversmiths. And then he got his 700 coin in for his age.
Yeah, that's really, really cool to see. Pretty unique.
So I think this is this is something that him and Kaiser were talking about, and I think they decided that this is just a better option because you get to save so much of those resources on those gold mines.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. It's always fun to see like new strategies, you know, up here. So very cool.
All right, so Mitoe's up. Turk is still struggling to get some things going. He's gonna send 1k wood to get some infrastructure up, because not having a barracks up means no skirms are gonna come out. These war wagons, they're gonna do a good job of poking down that Ulan mass, but these Minutemen are kind of pushing them off. Oh no, Turk's getting snared on the bottom here.
Oh, and looking at the ecos, whew, Mitoe at 28 vills, and yeah, Turk at 22. It's rough.
And another thing is that a lot of those are a lot of those kills were settler wagons. So if you look at the actual number there, the green number.
Oh yeah, the 28 to 36 there.
Yeah.
Big difference.
So yeah, kind of like what I was saying. Once he got those, he killed those units. He knew, oh, I just got to run back and sit in my base and not die immediately, and just let my eco slowly win the game.
Yeah, definitely very smart. Once you get a big lead, just you can kind of play passive and play safe, and just let that lead snowball. And it's just a smarter approach, and it's exactly what he did here.
So it looks like Skirm and Ulan is gonna be the combo. And almost perfectly macroed to get the vet tech in as soon as those Ulans finish. We have a little raiding party coming in from Turk. He might get a nice little
Yeah.
raid here.
Oh yeah, wow, that's a nice one there. Yeah, this is where the German mirrors, they can swing pretty quickly when you get raids like this.
Yep.
Especially if they kind of go unnoticed, or you can't, get your units to push the raid back in time.
Yeah, this is great by Turk. He killed a couple units. He's like, alright, Mito's on his way. I'm gonna run away after getting a couple kills and be happy with it. So, sometimes when you're playing AoE, you just break the wrist and walk away. Don't gotta overcommit.
Alright. Trying to close that Vil difference, but Mitoe at 39 and Turk at 30, so still a very large difference there. Look at this, Turk being forced to rebuild the barracks too. It always feels bad. Like it's always kind of rough to gather wood with Germany. So it always feels so challenging to just gather wood and kind of drop a military building or build your houses. Like you want to be gathering food and gold mainly. So when you have to like rebuild the barracks, it always feels like so costly.
Yeah, there's just, I mean, gathering wood in AoE3 is just something that most of the time you don't want to do in these like Age 3 FF situations. And so having to send that 1k wood instead of a unit shipment, I mean, it's nice, but as you can see, just Mitoe has way more units at his disposal. Because he gets to send back-to-back shipments, and then probably once he gets out this next shipment, he'll be ready to go. Probably be like cab combat, I'm guessing.
Yeah, definitely in a very commanding position. Got the infrastructure up at 130, 125 out of 130. Meanwhile, Turk, he's starting to add in more houses. He was at like 90 just a little bit ago. But yeah, now getting up closer up to the 130 also.
So here's another big raid coming in. And
ooh,
it's looking pretty scary now.
Yeah, that's how these German mirrors can really swing. But I think now it's go time for Mitoe. Like,
yeah,
because now the ecos are maybe similar or maybe even worse for Mitoe, but he should have the much better army. So I think he kind of you kind of have to force a fight.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, he knows that Turk's up here with all of his units, so he just needs to corral him up here and make sure he can't leave and just take this fight. Because he's ahead. So he gets to pick off a war wagon there for free, and he's just like, alright, where have you gone, Turk? We're fighting, you're not leaving. Yeah. And then, oh. Only problem is, Mito's skirms are a bit behind.
Yeah, and a lot of Mito's Ulans are war wagons, getting caught off there.
So Mito's
look at that tiny little gap.
Mito's in trouble now. It looked like he was in a commanding lead, but after losing all those vills, Turk now has the vill lead.
Wow, yeah, that's the thing about German mirrors. They swing so quickly when you can get these raids. It makes it so fun to play and watch German mirrors. It can feel like somebody has such a lead, and then all of a sudden, like, just a ton of villagers get cleared so quickly.
Yeah, so this is nice. Because Turk got all those trades, he gets to send cap combat. Whereas Mito's sending another unit shipment to get his war wagon number back up. Really nice thing that Turk's doing here. He's running back and forth between these different gold mines with his explorer. Because he knows Mitoe has to be on a gold mine somewhere. And so he just wants to figure out where those villagers are and attack that point of pressure.
Yeah, I was really surprised Mitoe didn't try to force that fight a bit sooner after losing all those villas.
So here it goes. The smash in. I think Turk's going to come out ahead. He has more war wagons, he has more Ulans, he has cap combat.
Yeah, I think Turk's positioning was better at the start of this fight here. And yeah, a lot of more war wagons in the back. There's I think a lot of DPS.
Yeah, Mito's doing a good job of sniping down the war wagons with his skirms. But I think Mitoe just had more Ulans, I think.
Yeah, and 5 reinforcing war wagons, they're pretty big.
And I think that's just from the Age 2. He had so many more that lived. So even though Turk had cap combat,
Yeah, how's the eco difference looking right now?
Right now it's still Turks up 7. So 38 to 31. And then military is pretty close. Mitoe has a few more skirms. He has 12 skirms to 7. But here comes a big Ulan pop from Turk. He has the 8 Ulans coming in, and then he's gonna pair it with 5 from the stable. Oh, I don't know if he can get 5. He should probably cancel that Vil. At this point, he's so far ahead in or he's far enough ahead in Eco that he can just stop training Vils. But Mitoe doing a great job. These raids on the side. Oh, he's gonna catch a huge. Oh no, he just missed it.
That single Ulan raid, they're always so annoying and like so effective. If you're ever getting raided by a single Ulan, it's just so frustrating when it's happening to you.
Yeah, and even if you don't kill any villagers and you send like 20 villagers away from that mine, that Ulan's done his job.
Yeah, just the idle time, the walking time that single Ulan forces.
So Mitoe cleaning up here, and then here comes some more Ulans coming in. Still that single Ulan doing work, and this is looking pretty over at this point.
Yeah, very back and forth game. Very nice play from both these players.
But Turk has a superpower of keeping games alive. If you don't resign, oh, there we go. That's the end of the game.
All right, GG. Mitoe taking game 1 here.
Yeah, 1-0 so far.
All right, so that means Mitoe can no longer play as German for the rest of the series. And Turkey still has German available if he wishes to play as them again.
Just, they went back and forth. Giving up the Vil line. So Turk lost. Yeah, Turk lost 8 Vils before getting up. And then Mitoe lost 5. And then 10, so 15 Vils later on. And then towards the end there. So it was quite a back and forth.
I wonder how far the stream is behind you, because yeah, my wreck, I was falling really far behind, so I just started watching the stream. I guess either screen sharing or watching the stream.
Yeah, I'll screen share this next one.
Okay.
So that we could be on the same page. Yeah, I think it comes down to your computer's computing.
Right, computer and like settings and all that stuff. Yeah.
What else did I want to look at? Just military population. Yeah. I mean, even though Turk's units are 15% better, Mitoe had 20 extra units, so he had 20% more units. So it'd be like that. That's how German mirrors go. Apparently the new card order is
Aufgabe?
silversmiths.
And that card is it's untouched from like EP. Is that correct?
No. All of the natural resourcing cards, well, not all of them, but a lot of them, like Spice Trade, Silversmiths, the Age 1 ones as well, like Foraging, they now have a new piece to it, this yield rate.
Okay, right, okay. So you gather more. Like if a gold mine has 2,000 gold in it, when you send that card, it now has more gold, right?
Yeah, so they will, instead of taking 1 gold out for every 1 gold they mine, they take 0.8 of a gold out for every 1 gold they mine, so that it lasts 20% longer.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, very cool to see.
It's definitely very important in these kind of matches, because as you see, like as it went on later, they had all their villagers were out on the map, and if you can have a safer gold mine for a little bit longer, I mean that's just beneficial for you.
Yeah, definitely. It's got to be like the prime, like absolute perfect situation to use that card is like German mirrors, right? Obviously, with German in general, it would be much more common than like other civs. But yeah, like German mirrors specifically, like that's where that card can shine, definitely.
Yeah, I remember they used to be used a lot earlier. Um, like in French mirrors, people used to go spice trade a lot because you just run out of food eventually. But let's see if we have another one.
All right, guys. So Mito currently up 1-0. This is a best of 5. What are you guys thinking in the chat? You got any predictions here for this for the whole series? And man, this I'm calling this. This is the death group. This is Group A. Freaking insane group. We got Samwise, Mito, Kaiser, and Turk all in the same group. Jesus.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, I was saying these are 4 of the 5 champions
Yeah. That was a
from
really
the
cool
EPL.
stat. Right. That was a really cool stat to share because yeah, I mean that's just true and like that's nuts. That's a nuts statistic.
And the other thing is, every single one of these players has won like a major tournament in the past year, except for Samwise. So maybe this is
Mm.
Samwise's chance. He's been runner-up and he's been
I know
getting
he
good
won.
results.
Yeah, he did win a tournament, but maybe that was 2 or 3 years ago. Like he
Uh,
won a major, I
his
know.
last major I think was 2015.
Oh, that long ago?
Yeah, so it was I
Wow,
think it was the first
Jesus.
one that ESOC hosted, and Sam won that one.
I don't know if it was. I feel like it wasn't the very first. I don't think he beat Acer game, right? He beat Acer game in the finals. It was yeah. I guess it was a very early ESOC tournament, but I don't think it was like the first.
Yeah, it was I think it was 2015 autumn.
Jesus Christ.
So
It
it's
doesn't
been a
feel like that.
while.
It doesn't feel like it's been that long.
Let's see.
Yeah, I wish Sam would have played in the NWC tournament. I know he was saying that he was like regretting it after seeing like the lane. He was like, "Wait, I should have played. Probably should have played in that."
All right. So I have my screen share up,
Yes. All right.
and then let's hop in to game 2.
Yep. And then kind of going forward, I think they say like put up the overlay when you're loading the Rex, so they don't. Or I don't know. I think you got the system down, so they can see on their games.
Yeah, I'm pulling them in.
Okay, like one by one, essentially.
Apparently this game's
All right, we all set?
I think so. I didn't know this map was in the map pool, but
Yeah, Sonora. Wait, let
this is
me.
a
Is
this
this one?
is a, yeah, an old map where it has the
Yeah.
I remember it used to
Oh
spawn
yeah, it's Sonora.
with this used to, instead of it being a mountain or a cliff, it used to be like a indention, and then
Yeah,
you
and
had
there'd
to
be like
like
a
run in
ton of
there,
fun.
and there's a ton of hunts and gold mines in there, so everybody would fight over that.
Yeah, wow, this is the first time I've seen this map in DE. This is, I guess, yeah, pretty cool seeing this map. This was such a classic map, right? I'm sure, like, both of us, like, when we were, old school
Yeah, I
boys.
played tons of games on this map, and I hated it
Yeah,
every
yeah,
time. But it looks as though the hunts are better.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I hate. Okay, they're deer instead of. They used to be
Bison, right?
pronghorn. No, they used to be pronghorn,
Mm,
which would, if you shoot them, they would like run across the map. But deer seem
mm,
to act a little bit better than pronghorn. And then they
okay.
also have
And
bison as well. They had some pretty cool treasures here, like the Aztec warriors that you could help, or you could save. It looks as though they've. This looks like one of the best treasures right now. 130
yeah,
coin. They do have a Waminka here. So, interesting. I mean, I'm curious if this, you probably can't get this trading post, but on Mito's side, I think Turk would be able to get this trading post. Turk could probably grab all the trading posts just
yeah.
on
So
where
looks
Mito's spawn.
so this is interesting. Looks like, according to the rules, Mito would have to pick a civ first on this map. I believe so. Mito picked Ottoman, which I think could be a pretty good civ here, and then Turk counterpicked with French. And a lot of people are saying that French are really good currently in DE. So yeah, smart civ choice there. French versus Auto. It's a interesting one.
I'm
Do you have
curious to
any?
what Mito's gonna do here, because I've been talking with
Yeah.
him He's been exploring 5 vills first for auto.
Oh wow, okay.
So
Can you take a look at his deck? I'm curious.
he has it in his deck. I'm 99% sure. Yep.
Yeah.
So he would go 5 vil first, and then he would do like 700 coins second. So that you still age at about the same time.
Man, so different. This is interesting stuff.
And
Yeah.
then
Okay.
Turk isn't going for the 1210, which I'm curious.
Mm.
I guess against auto it doesn't make a difference, but I'm because auto can do a few different things. Before it used to be you knew auto was just going straight for an FF, tower FF every single time. But now auto can do, they can drop down TCs and just kind of out eco you.
Yeah, they definitely have a lot more options. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Mito plays this one out. I think Turk is going to try to get up to age 3 like as soon as possible. I'm expecting like a really quick age up, especially if he, doesn't scout any forward military buildings. What if he even does like a naked FF, like no military building? And wasn't that a thing back in the day, like naked FFs? Like I feel like wasn't that meta? I think that was meta like way back in the day.
It was meta when this kind of been moved away from because they changed the Exile Prince. So the Exile Prince is a little bit slower. So there's a little bit more weakness there. And then they also changed the other, so the other politicians you age up a little bit faster to age 3 now. So it was like minus 5 seconds on the Exiled Prince, and then, or it was 5 seconds faster for the Exiled Prince, or slower, and then 5 seconds faster for the other politicians. So with that being like a net 10-second difference, naked FFs were just a little bit too greedy. So a lot of people want to get out at least a couple of units just to make sure that they're not getting rushed, to do a little bit of scouting and a little bit of pressure, and then they go up to age 3.
Yeah, it looks like we got Mito taking a second trading post here pretty early. I'm not expecting any aggression from auto early. How's this map look? It looks like it's got a pretty fair amount of hunt.
It does. I just think that this TC spawned backwards, or just spawned too far south. Because these hunts, they're not far away, but it just looks as though Mitos are closer to the hunts.
Yeah, I kind of see what you're saying, right? Like, yeah, he's even further from like the trading post, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the town center location.
So
yeah.
these two could be like these are not inside of the town center radius. Like, so if Mito did take the whole TP line, he could. However, on the other side, it looks as though this one is, and then that one might be.
Right. That's interesting.
So.
Oh, look at this. Got the native warrior from the treasure, and I can be able to potentially kill the Ottoman explorer here. We get a little XP. Every little bit counts here.
So, Mito went up with 400 wood, and he's dropping down a barracks. I hyped up the. Oh, he did send the 5 bills. Yeah, so he sent 5 bills, and he has 700.
Okay.
700 coin coming in.
Yeah, man, that sounds really nice because they could still like essentially do like the same thing, but just like with 5 bills, like right? Like.
Yeah, so instead of getting the tower and the 200 and aging up a little bit faster, he gets 5 bills and a barracks and ages up about the same time. He might want to put a few more bills on coin here to get out a better batch.
Yeah, he's just got 1 Jane and Q right now. Is he gonna?
I think he'll finish the batch.
No, it looks like just a solo Jan. Yeah, sometimes players will queue up a unit, even though they don't intend on training the unit. Like, because the units obviously take quite a long time to train. So if your opponent like suddenly pushes with like 3 husks, you want to be able to pop out Jans if you need them. So sometimes you'll see players training a unit, and then like as it's getting close to finish, they'll cancel it because they never actually really wanted the unit. They're just building it in case they need it.
Yep.
So I was curious if that's what Mito was kind of going for. Maybe I was expecting him to maybe even cancel it, or if he was just happy with the single Jan. But it's definitely a nice trick that players will do.
So Mitoe's going up. He's going up with a scout, and Turk decided to train 3 Hus. So I don't know what if these will accomplish anything. He might get a single Vil up here.
Yeah, and it's actually quite painful that Mitoe lost his Explorer, because it looks like that is yeah, that's Turk's native scout. So that was really nice that Turk was able to kill Mitoe's Explorer, especially since he has the native scout. So now that guy's not even getting scouted. It's just so valuable.
Yep.
Having a native scout there.
Good reaction time from Mitoe. He's not gonna lose any Vils. I wonder if Mitoe just drops a town center as soon as he hits H3.
Yeah, it looks like that's what he might be going for here. Got 600 wood in the bank.
This is great hurting. Mitoe's happy just to sit underneath his town center.
Yeah, that's a lot of hunt there, right?
Yeah, so he's gotten, it was 3 hunts that he pulled in, so there's 1 here and then 1 here in his starting hunt.
Seeing the meta shift in DE, it's interesting. I mean, there's definitely been balance patches in the EP, but for the most part, not a ton kind of has changed throughout the years. I mean, there definitely has been patches, but it's not like back in the day when there would be like a new patch, it would be like completely game changing. You'd have to like learn the new civs.
Yeah. Oh, he's gonna find that scout.
Different. Yeah, there's the native.
Oh, Turk, pull it away.
He's going down.
No more map hacks for Turk.
Alright, so Mitoe hitting H3 here. Has steel traps being researched right now. And shipping 1,000, is that 1,000 wood? Looks like that's coming in.
1,000 wood right out the gate. And what else did he spend oh, he got steel traps, but oh, another TP. So he has another TP and he's gonna go stagecoach.
Yeah, starting to siege down Turk's trading post, and how's Turk? Turk about halfway up to H3 right now. Does have a barracks and stable at home.
Yeah, so he went 700 wood, 700 coin.
Gonna forget those 3 villas? Okay, he sees them.
Yeah, good reaction time. There's a few up here, but we'll see if Mitoe goes up. Nope. Oh, he was gonna get this one for sure.
There was a nice route change going that way around the barracks. Almost kind of got him out, but no, still doesn't go down. Forced the min-min call too, so that was actually really nice for Mitoe there. Killing 1 villager and forcing the min-min call.
So Turk went over here and grabbed this 130 coin treasure with his 3 Hus. And now Skirm Goon gonna be coming out from Turk.
Yeah, it looks like we're not seeing any TCs being thrown down from Mitoe quite yet. Min-min getting some shots in here, trying to get as much value out of them as you can.
He's gonna take it down right before stagecoach comes in, and I wonder if he drops down a. So switching them all to coin, and having coin.
Is he gonna do a heavy cannon switch or
Yes,
Manchuria?
maybe Aba's coming out or cannons.
Mitoe foundation there.
Very good with just leaving 3 Jans in his Vil line to deal with any of these pesky Hus that come back.
Yeah, Turk seeing that artillery foundation right away, right before it gets built, so definitely always nice being able to get that scouting information.
And Mitoe has his mosque upgrade, so Ottoman with an eco they have strong units. The problem is they usually don't have an eco to sustain their unit production, but with this way of doing it, I think Mitoe might be onto something.
Yeah, he's on 3 TPs, 26 Vils, and his army's looking pretty scary. Take a look at how's Turk's base looking. He's starting to get some skirms mixed in here.
Yep,
going really heavy on the goons, it looks like.
He has a bunch of goons, because that's usually what you do. You build a bunch of goons, because they do pretty well against Jan.
Yeah, definitely.
But we have Abus coming in as well, and there's Vet Jans coming in.
Yeah, Abus also being shipped, so yeah, the Abus count is going to grow pretty quickly here.
And it looks like Turk has gotten out 2 batches of 1 skirm.
You want to take a switch to his point of view?
So
See how he's looking? Shipping skirms right now?
yeah, he has
Ooh.
skirms coming in, but he's a little mismacroed with his coin. He did get another trading post, so he does have part of this TP line.
He's gonna have to control that right portion of the map, right where the trading post is. There's all that hunt and the gold mine.
Yeah,
he's just got a tiny bit of hunt down there.
So this is this is his.
Yeah, that's everything, right?
Yeah, if he loses that position, he's kind of in big trouble. He's trying to get both of these TPs, and he does have a decent. He has a decent eco, as France always does. I don't think Mitoe's gonna let him get this, and that was nice pulling back the goons just in time.
Yeah, that auto army is looking pretty scary. We got some goons and a couple husks going in for a raid.
This is one thing. Yeah, this is one thing you have to do against auto is you have to run them around. Their army is going to be slow because it's usually just either jammed Falc or Jan Abus. So
yeah, that single hut's actually really nice. It forced all the Jans into melee mode, and like they didn't attack for quite a long time there. And Turk was on top of pulling the husk away. So like now that house does go down, but the Jans could have just shot at the goons, and done some damage, but yeah, they were basically just doing nothing.
So we have 2 fronts, Mitoe poking into the base, while being alright with losing a few villagers up here.
Yeah, Miniman being called there, helpful, just push the goons back there. Skirm's getting hit.
Yeah, this is
on the way here.
That's very good from Mitoe. He knows that France is going to be pretty population dependent, and
killing that house really big there. He could pop up 5 goons out, but he just doesn't have the house. So it feels painful.
Yeah, he has the resources to do it, but doesn't have the population space. Yeah,
and Turk's in a really awkward position right now. He's got like 1k res, but he just can't use it. He needs to get some more houses down.
And at this point, with the vet tech, the skirms still do outrange the Abus, but not by, like, 19 is not enough. Oh, this could be gross. Oh, not as... It was only 2. I thought that like 8 skirmishers were about to go down. Because, yeah, just having... This is not a place that you want to be in as France. If Otto has more Abus than you have skirms, you're in trouble.
Ooh, cannon shooting over a cliff. This could be a nice little position here.
There you go, 2 good volleys. I almost wonder if it would be better for Turk to go Crusaders instead of Goons.
Yeah, potentially. And now 2 cannons for Mitoe. So yeah, Mitoe definitely looking to be in a really good spot. But that's kind of how it was the first game, right? Mitoe was looking to be in a very demanding position, and then Turk kind of came back a bit. But the cannons moving out. Oh god!
They're gonna. Oh, he pulls them away.
Just in time. Thought the Abus were gonna get a volley off there.
Okay,
and are we gonna see a villager pull here?
They're in a safe spot. Oh. Mitoe's gonna shoot first. Oh, but he shoots the wrong direction.
Ooh, big cannon volley there from Turk.
If Turk can... But Abus just walk up and one-shot the...
Yeah. Villagers getting in the mix, trying to tank some damage. Turk's army is just significantly smaller.
Yep.
Needs to use the villagers, but that's a lot of Abus.
Yeah, just plus 12s everywhere. The cannon's still alive. Okay, the cannon goes down now, but...
And yeah, so looks like this might be it here. Turk trying to do everything he can, but yeah, getting house was really painful there. Yeah, it was rough. He had like 1,000 resources that he was floating, but he just couldn't train units. He got that one batch of a single goon out at a really critical moment. Yes, it was well played by Mitoe. Very interesting. Seeing new strategies. Mitoe basically doing new builds with both civs, right? Like in the game 1, he did Silversmith, which is, you know, we're seeing as a new thing in DE that we didn't see previously, and now we're seeing Mitoe shipping like 5 builds with Ottoman, so
Yeah.
seeing some new builds out.
And I mean, he is getting some picks off here, but I think it's just too late. I think Turk's too far behind at this point.
Yeah, what's Turk's Explorer doing in the corner? Is that guy dead, or is he?
He's just been
He's
hanging out there
alive.
for a while.
Gotta use your Explorer, man. He's a giant tank. But
Yeah.
yeah, sometimes players will forget to, you know, use their Explorer, but especially like in those fights, it's like, you know, that fight just decided the game. You want to have like everything you can have in the fight, like just having an Explorer with, you know, 600 hit points, tanking, and potentially like snaring. You really want to try not to forget that.
I think what happened is he was building this TP and might have scared him away, and he pulled him over here, and he just forgot about him because, I mean, there's so many things going on in the game that it's so hard to do everything.
Yep, and if Mitoe just pushes like right away, you just don't have the time almost to pull him back. You gotta focus on microing like your current units, but
yeah. So this is Turk's last ditch effort. He's gonna try and get 5 and 3.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. The Jan count isn't super high. I think Turk's been doing a good job trying to maybe focus the Jan count down, but it's still a lot of volume.
Yeah, I mean, it's a last ditch effort, but
yeah, it's not bad. 3 being chipped, 5 being trained.
8 creed pop. There we go. If he can get them around the backside, I mean, here we go.
I mean, it's go time for Turk. This is it.
I mean, Mitoe needs to pull these in. There's 8 more Jans coming in, but
using the villagers to try to
sniping
for the Abus.
Oh, but it looks as though the Jans are just right on top of him. Yeah, it's well microed by Mitoe.
Yeah, definitely. Those reinforcing Jans are really big too. Without those reinforcing Jans, it might have looked a lot different, but...
Because, I mean, Turk's doing a good job with getting his bills in there to block. But now it looks as though this is where Janissaries want to be, up close and personal, with Abus behind to DPS.
Yeah, so that's it for game 2. Mitoe taking game 2, going up 2-0 in this best of 5. So Turk pretty quickly falling behind here. He's gonna have to win the next game to stay alive in the series. And what is the next map? I have it pulled up here. Take a look real quick. Next map's gonna be Manchuria.
So
Mitoe can no longer play as German or Ottoman.
I'm curious of what Mitoe will play next. Because those are the 2 that I've talked to him about, and we kind of went over reasonings behind doing certain builds. So I've seen this 5 build, and I saw the silversmith thing, but I have no idea what could be next.
I just realized we have yet to see Turks Japan, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, I think this was a really good pick for Mitoe actually, because I think Otto countered Japan pretty well, and Mitoe probably knew that, like, oh, you know, Turk might want to pick Japan in game 2, but now I'm gonna pick Otto, which kind of makes Turk forced to not play as Japan.
Yeah, if you told me that there's a game where Otto had 2k more res than France, I'd say that France got wrecked early or something, but no, it was just this is what Otto can do if you like. He played just enough greed, so he didn't get all 5 of the TPs because then he would have been exposed and he wouldn't have bad units. However, he had 3 of them, and that was just enough to keep his military production up, as well as have enough eco to out eco Turk. Yeah,
and it's interesting because people were saying that French is like the best civ, but it just looked like Otto just wrecked them. Like, oh god, are we gonna have like strong Otto days?
Yeah, so
Otto top civ.
So going eco and still getting up at 7:30. That's about a usual Otto FF time. I mean, it could be a little bit earlier. It could be like 7 minutes or right before, but still, that's a decent Otto time with a decent eco. So
yeah, I wonder where the biggest turning point was where Turk kind of went wrong. It looked like the game was more so just like a build / you know, like strategy type of game.
It was. I mean, I don't think that Turk read it right with his cav opening, like doing 3 Hus.
Mm.
I'm curious what else he could have done instead, like maybe building a barracks and doing 10, like 10 muskets going in and burning down both those TPs, but it's hard to it's hard to know what Otto's gonna do. I mean, you kind of want to get up quickly and be able to defend that tower rush timing, but Mitoe didn't go for that. So it's it's I mean it's interesting.
Yeah, and I guess the biggest turning point was when Turk was housed and he, trained that single batch of goons while having like 1,000 resources in the bank.
Yeah,
Um,
it also could have been it also could have been that Turk just didn't get out good batches in the early Fortress Age, because I think twice he got out a batch of one skirm.
yeah, I think he had some macro issues there.
So that could have been it could have been something with what he did early age 3.
All right, game 3 gonna be played on Manchuria. Mito's gonna pick his civ first. I mean, you would have to assume we're gonna be seeing Turks Japan here in game 3. Japan on Manchuria. That should be really good.
I want to say
Uh,
Mitoe will play French here. Yep.
yeah,
So we got
gotta be French versus Japan, right?
French versus
Yep.
Japan. Very classic, very classic matchup on Manchuria, of which I'm very excited. Okay, okay, that makes sense. So as France, a lot of times you go 12-10. However, Mitoe sees that he's got 40 wooden base, so he just instantly starts chopping, and he's gonna go 13-10 instead. On Manchuria, you want to send your scout out to the middle of the map. Across the middle, there's gonna be 6 yaks, or there's gonna be either 2 or 3 sets of yaks that spawn. So there's one up here, one here in the middle, and then one down here at the coastline. And you just want to go in and try to grab as many as you can. Both Japan and France have 2 scouts in age 1. So a lot of times if you see people on Manchuria playing a civ, they're going to choose a civ that has 2 scouts so that they can get this livestock as many of these livestock
Oh, you got the
animals
score
as
flip.
possible.
They said in Twitch chat. Maybe the names jumped this time. You
Yeah,
got the two for
they
Turkey.
switch back. So I'll switch those for you guys.
Yeah, so Mito taking the middle train post here, and he's got his 2 yaks hanging out the Explorer there, so that they don't get stolen. But I like this. I like this map definitely for Japan. You can, get the fishing boats out from your export. So Japan's just really good on water maps because you can do the normal like shrine booming, and then you can ship fishing boats if you want, and you can also get the fishing boats from the consulate. So it's like just I don't know. It's such an eco boost for them.
Yeah. So Turk did a good job of he built one cherry orchard, then he sent his other cherry orchard out here to see if he could find those yaks, but Mito's native scout's just faster. So there's another, I think there's another yak back here he might have already gotten. Yeah, he already got it, but one will spawn back here as well. And then if you look at Mito's perspective, he's doing a good job scouting with these yaks as well. So he went down here and scouted this whole area with that yak because he thought, I don't risk anything because there's no way that Turk has this explorer down here.
Yeah, very nice stuff from Mito. And how many yaks does he have? Does he have like?
Right now he's got 7.
7. Jeez, you drop a livestock pen. That's nice.
I think 8 is the number for the livestock pen, but I think 7's probably pretty close. I wonder if he'll eat like 2 or 3 of these just to get up at 13, but it looks like he's going 14 age up. And then Turk's gonna try to steal this.
Yeah, was that an 80 food there? 75 food?
75 food, so if a divine strike, here it comes.
He's got it. Oh.
Oh.
I'm calling. He's stealing this though, right?
Yeah,
Yep,
Turk is very good at. I don't know how he does it, but he always seems to get treasures. He never loses the treasure contention.
I've said this before, dude. I swear, there's something like low key where like I feel like Japan explorers are more efficient at stealing treasures. Like maybe their animation or something. I think they're just like quicker. Like I've had so many games where I feel like I'm like a European player. I start the treasure first, yet like it goes to the Japan player. I'm just like, what?
Yeah, I mean, if it could just be that you always like play against Turk and he's always playing Japan on ladder, and
Maybe that's it, right?
you're just like, I hate Japan for another reason.
Oh, so did Turk
He
ship
didn't go.
fishing boats?
Yeah, he shipped 3 fishing boats and he didn't go port cons. So he did the 2 shrines instead, and then he has the fishing boats, and now he's aging up with the Toshugo shrine. So I'm curious. This isn't your standard port cons build that Japan usually goes for. I wonder if
80...
he's. There's the consulate going up now, and yeah, he's picking up 85 wood. So
Yeah, anytime you get wood treasures with Japan, it's just so good. It's so valuable for Japan. And yeah, definitely a unique build. I mean, the fishing boats, I wouldn't be shocked if he. Well, I don't know. Sometimes the players will ship. Does he? I'm sure he has the fishing boats in H2. Does he have that in his deck?
the 5 fishing boats.
Yeah.
No, he
Oh, he
doesn't.
does not.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a. I mean, it is similar to 4 Vills, but I don't know. It just seems too greedy sometimes.
Yeah, you can still get the fishing boats from the consulate too. So.
I wonder if he's gonna do some sort of ashy club agenda.
Yeah, it looks like he might be aggressive, right? Who knows? He could go with the Japan consulate.
Yeah,
And,
if you don't get a H1 consulate, usually the Japanese player will go with Japan. And then I wonder if he'll build 2 shrines down here and deny this hunt. Because I think if he builds them down here, it's just outside of that TC range, and he'll get all these animals.
Yeah, definitely be quite nice. And
So-
yep, there's livestock pen from Mitoe. It's like I called it.
Yeah, so he has the livestock pen. Just hunting dogs for now.
And maybe this could work out for Turk, because Turk is. Oh, those. Oh no, I thought those were Naggies.
So he has Shinobi coming out, and then his barracks is coming down. Shinobis, I think these are underused units. They're pretty decent, and then if you're not going to use them for fighting, they have stealth, so you can just stealth them around the map. And it's pretty annoying. Like, you can put it on somebody's hunt, and somebody goes out with a villager to go get the hunt, and you just kill the unit, and then you disappear again.
Yeah,
and people are like, what the heck, how did my villager die? And it's just a stealth ninja with a bow and arrow killing all your hunting villagers.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I mean, stealth units in general are just so good, and as we're talking about those guys,
scratch all that. He decided to get rid of all of them, and now he's going ganja. He's going clubs now.
Oh, you gotta find that French explorer. Anytime you're playing versus French or like a Civ, or if you see your opponent pick a native treasure, you always want to be mindful of like, okay, is the native scout still alive? And if he is, I gotta like try to move my explorer around. I gotta try to find him. No, it's a little bit different with Japan because like you have to build shrines at the same time, but you always want to be like mindful of like, did I kill the explorer, or is he still alive? Is he still in stealth mode?
Yeah.
And because they're just so valuable, so you get a lot of information.
So
I do like this Turk going for the clubs since he knows the trading post is in the middle. It's much easier to siege rather than if Mitoe took the one further away.
Yeah, and now he's going 4 Vills, so I think Turk's gonna just want to play this H2 as much as he can. 2 caravels coming out.
Okay.
Which, I mean, I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, 3 Vills, it's okay, but a full shipment for just killing 3 boats. Because Mitoe sees the club, so he knows that he didn't go port cons.
Yeah, right.
And he has his villager right here, or his native scout here, so he knows that there's no port cons coming out.
Yeah, I agree. I think that was honestly like a win for Turk. Like he loses his 3 fishing boats, but it forces Mito to use a whole shipment for 3 bills. Like he essentially shipped like he sent the shipment in H2, and it was essentially 3 bills, right?
Yeah,
That's like a 3 bill shipment.
yeah. So not the, I mean, not the worst trade for Turk there.
Yeah, and right now Mito has the crossbow count here, so he's pushing Turk back. Turk still trying to put in some work with the Yumis here, trying to get some shots in, but
Yeah, I mean every trade there is better for Mito,
yeah.
just because these units are cheaper than those units.
Ooh, is he dropping a stable? I see he shipped coin, or is he just gonna age? He shipped coin, and he's got his shrines now on coin. I was curious if he was gonna maybe mix in a stable and get some naggies out, but does not look
No,
like the case.
because he sent the rickshaw, but he built a barracks with it. So from the Japanese consulate, he has the military rickshaw for 100 export, but he decided to build a barracks. So it looks like he's just gonna age here. Nice to get a couple little treasures when you can. This would be
Yeah.
a very nice treasure if somebody would pick it up, get an extra stable.
Oh yeah, definitely. And Mito's going heavy with the crossbows. Wow, triple Braxton.
Uh-oh, we got a Victor Sweet spotting.
Oh, he's now starting to eat the yaks. So this is like oh my god, he's just gonna be pumping out units because he's got the yaks
Yep.
fanning now and
So
triple
here it
stable
comes,
with it.
triple
Oh,
racks
God.
with all
Just
of
gonna
the,
see like a million expos and then some pikes.
and this could hit at a perfect timing too, because Turk's about to age, and Mito's about to come across the map with 600 crossbow. And all these yaks are going down. He has Gangsaw. I wish he would do the because during the EPL we used to do a build where you would go for the second wood upgrade. Like you would
Yeah.
sell food and get the second wood upgrade and then just
Mhm.
pump out units across the map, but oh no.
Yeah, let's
Oh.
take a look at Turks. You want to go switch to
Oh,
Turks
look at that.
point of view? I'm curious.
That was
How's that age up looking?
really clutch from Mito. He got all those units out just in time. So he's aging up, he's about a third of the way there. And here comes
Maybe a little out of position here. You gotta back up.
Here comes the 1,000 French crossbowmen.
Yeah, Turk wants to just buy as much time as possible here. Get a nice little shot there, but I probably want to just keep backing off.
Yep. You never want to fight when you're aging because you're spending like 2k resources to get a tech advantage.
Yeah,
So-
even right now, I feel like he could be backing up more. He's kind of taking these trades a little sooner than I. Nice cover mode, definitely, but
Yeah, the cover mode to catch a thing, but here comes another 100 crossbows. This is great.
yeah, that is a lot of crossbows. And here we go, go time for Mito.
Oh no.
He's just gonna go all the way in there. Minutemen being called.
A little too all in. I think you can clean up all this, but here comes another.
I'm surprised no Vilpol actually yet, but here is the age up, and shipping more Yumi.
And yeah, some more Yumi coming out. He has a couple of vills that are idle. But I mean, overall, Yumi are a good unit.
Yeah, cost efficiently, that went really well for Turk.
Like,
And he's upgrading. Oh my god, that actually went insane, right?
it's cool that your explorer can just one-shot a enemy unit.
Yeah, that's something.
Well,
Yeah, I think this is looking pretty good for Turk.
yeah, Turk has done well. He's survived all that pressure. He didn't really lose anything. He may have lost a couple vills, but not too many.
I wonder what's Mito's follow up. I think he's just
I mean,
continuing
he's
to
committed
right,
to the
committed
Victor
for sure.
Sui, the Victor Sui 3 racks
Yeah,
expo.
And Turk doesn't really know this because I saw Turk's shipping intervention, which
Will be like
two-flaming arrows would be kind of nice, right? Maybe. But
Yeah, well the thing is he has, so his weakness is if there's a cav switch.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
doesn't know that cav are coming, but so he's gonna get about like 10, it's like 9 or 10 clubs that he'll just have sit behind, and he'll do kind of the same thing that Mito's doing, put him in cover mode, tank some shots, and just let Yumi be the broken unit that they are, and just DPS down these crossbows, because he just wins this fight so hard, even though Mito has a
Yeah.
card on him.
Yeah, this is looking really good for Turk right now.
So here come
And
the
careful for Club Harvey.
10 clubs coming in behind this, and this is looking pretty dire for
I was thinking earlier, like this map, it looks larger to me. I think I've said this before in the past, like, but maybe I was just trying to age up behind this. Like the rush distance feels quite large. I feel like a lot of times the crossbow were like taking so long to cross the map. Like maybe if some of the like the third barracks or some of the barracks would have been built further, or if the rush distance wasn't as large, probably would have been better for Mito. But like the crossbow armies were taking a long time to get there.
yeah, on this map it is a larger distance between the two CCs, so I don't know if this is the best idea for Mito. As well, he also sent those 2 caravels, so that slowed it down as well.
Yeah, it was after 4 bills.
And now the clubs are gonna take down the barracks, and it just seems as though this is looking pretty good for Team Japan.
Yeah, Mito is on his way up to age 3 here, but one barracks does go down.
So Mito's aging, and Turk is getting way of the bow, which gives your Yumi 2 extra range and HP.
Yeah, so this Yumi is just gonna get really strong. Oh, and here's a group of Ashes too. Look at Mito's villagers. Does he have some exposed there? Yeah, it's getting to the point where you have to be really far out on the map just to gather your food and gather your resources. And
yeah, Turk has seen this dead animal, just sends his Ashley straight for it. And this is kind of great what Turk's doing. So he doesn't want to take a fight really, but since he's ahead, he just uses these units to siege down the buildings because that's what they're good at, and then the rest of his units kind of walk forward and push away, because these crossbowmen want to come in here and they want to snipe these clubs, but because Turk's being so vigilant, he's pulling those back and then pushing forward with his units so that they don't get a chance to shoot the units that they want to shoot, but Turk's units get to shoot the units that they want to be shooting at.
yeah, definitely. Good job, Turk, not overcommitting, not going like all in. You might see some players like push underneath the TC, go for the bills or something, but it's just not necessary.
Yeah,
Turk's just playing it smart, taking those easy wins.
So he killed some bills up here. He killed 3 military buildings, and now he's poking with these, so there's no reason for him to really overcommit. So he's done some damage, now he can just walk away, get some more shipments in, and then win the game.
Yeah, yep. It can be so frustrating. Just the fast Ashes raiding you. Oh, it can be painful.
Yeah, and Turk's gonna do a good job. He's just gonna leave him like right here. And then in like a minute or so, when Mito's forgotten about him, he's just gonna pull him right back in, kill 2 villagers, then pull him right back and leave him right here. So Mito's smart. He's like, all right, he's gonna come back for it, and he catches him out of position here. But these Ashes will probably trade decently with, get a couple kills before they die.
Yep, trying to get in as many shots as possible here. Nice job by Turk. Meanwhile, at home, he's looking really good.
Yeah, he has just Japan's happy. They didn't die in H2, so their eco's insane. Cherry orchards are running out, so he's shipping cherry orchards now. And he has the shrines on food, which is...
So Mito shipped the 2 caravels as the second age 2 shipment after the 4 bills, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that felt rough. Cause yeah, that was like basically just a 3 villager shipment. Well,
yeah, getting 3 bills is
it's okay. He
okay.
killed like 3 bills of Turks.
But yeah, it slows down the rest of his game, and that's one of the things that France likes to do is they want to apply a little bit of pressure, then age up, and then go for something like this push that he's doing now, because Japan has a hard time dealing with a big cav mass early in age 3. But at this point, Turk has plenty to deal with it, I think.
Yeah, Turk even dropping a second TC here. Looking quite good. Got a good number of clubs there too. Healthy number.
Yeah, he only has 9 upgrades on his villagers. No big deal. Well, that one doesn't really count. Maybe 8. Just 8. Because the extra damage as a land unit isn't really going to do too much.
Pretty stable. It's always nice getting a little bit of XP. And it's always nice when you see players just take like treasures in like the mid and late games, kind of like at this time. Some players will just forget about them, but like every little bit counts. And yeah, I mean, if you're not doing anything with your army, like might as well, right? Get a free treasure, get some XP, get closer to your next shipment, and here, this is getting a stable from this, so definitely very nice.
Yep, mid map stable. I don't know if he'll be double pumping out Crusader batches, but he could try. And then at this point, it's kind of, yeah, you go around with your pikes left over from age 2 and try to siege down as many shrines as you can. And actually, Mitoe's done a good job of pulling this back. Like, he still has a chance if he gets a big fight. I'm curious what this, I wonder if this will just be cav combat, and then just try to smash in with as many crews as possible. Yep.
Yeah, cav count is starting to look pretty good for Mitoe. Trying to just stay in the game here. You know, oh, it looks like we got a castle at home there for Turk.
So 2 flaming arrows coming out. We'll see how many he gets out. And he's actually housed. So he's building down a few more shrines. He could build some over here, but and this is kind of nice, just having 5 Ashy going for a raid.
Yep, Ashy raids are always so nice.
Yeah, I mean it's just
speed.
If you have the APM to send 5 of them out there, just pulling villagers off of hunts, like he'll idle these 8 villagers. Even if he doesn't kill them, all 8 of these will not be hunting anymore. And it forces Mitoe to respawn. So these 8 villagers have to go walk all the way over here.
Yep, meanwhile here's the big fight. Clubs are kind of right on the front line, right where they want to be for the most part. Meanwhile, Yumi's behind the trees also. Yep. Ooh, flaming arrows there, quite a few.
He's got 2 flaming arrows, 4 of them. And close combat just came in, so these are beefy Ashies.
I don't think Turk was expecting this much cav. Is flaming arrows not super useful here, but still got really good positioning for Turk here when he took this fight, like with the Yumi's behind the trees, flaming arrows in a really tough spot to get to, and that cav count is starting to fall really quickly from Mitoe there.
Yeah, it looks as though there was too much of a lead that Turk had gotten early on. And so, even though that was probably the best fight that Mitoe could have gotten there, it was just, there's too much Japan stuff there.
Yeah, so Turk taking game 3.
Yeah, Turk.
Series going 2-1.
Bringing a game back. So, yeah, kind of a recap. Mitoe with his aggression. It was an interesting build. I think it might have worked maybe if he had put the Raxus forward a little bit more, but I think he just tried to do too many things at once.
Yeah, I kind of agree, because like when he built the livestock pen, you know, it forces you to not really, it gives that timing where like you can't really do what you want until they're all fattened, and then until like after you you know, eat all the yaks. But then he's also trying to like put pressure on with the barracks, and it just kind of slowed down the time you push. And you know, anytime you give Japan time, they feel so good when Japan can just sit back and kind of do what they want. Even if you don't boom, like Turk didn't boom or anything, he had low shrine pop obviously, but just getting up to H3 and just getting like those really strong Yumi and it's yeah, I don't know. Turk played it well. That was a really good hold though.
Yeah, I mean he did. I like the deviation away from the typical port cons. So understanding I need to get up a little bit earlier. I need to have units out, kind of defend. He didn't see the 3 Raxes, but he did build enough Yumi just to hold. So hats off to Turk for bringing one back, and now the series is 2-1.
All right, and game 4 is going to be played on Florida. And it'll be Turk being forced to choose his civilization first. I'm saying he's gonna pull out the French. That's what I'm expecting to see. Mitoe he has not won with French. Yeah, he won with German and Auto. Might see a French
Florida.
mirror. I'm calling a French mirror on Florida game 4.
Yeah. Well, it'll depend. I think if Turk pulls out the French, I think Mitoe would be happy to take that French mirror because Mitoe gets a counter pick, and I think Mitoe's happy in that matchup. I mean, he played quite a bit of that. But if Turk picks something else, I don't know, we could see something different from Mitoe.
Yeah, Mitoe being an old training partner with H2O, and everybody knows that H2O used to love his mirrors. So I think Mitoe has played quite a few French mirrors in his time, and that's what I'm expecting. I think we're going to see a French mirror in game 4, but we'll have to wait and see.
And I'm going to take a quick break just for a second.
Yep, sounds good.
And I'll be right back. I guess we should throw up the overlay just for a second. Boom.
All right, they can still hear while the overlay's up?
Yes, they can still hear you.
All right, I'll keep them entertained, I suppose. All right, guys, so this is the first series in the tournament. Group A, the Death Group, with Samwise, Mitoe, Kaiser, and Turk. Yeah, so game 4 is going to be Florida, and then game 5 will be Deccan if it goes to game 5. But yeah, I'm expecting a French mirror here in game 4. I don't know if you guys have any predictions of what civ you think Turk might go here in game 4. Yeah, I can't. This tournament's gonna be a lot of fun to watch. I was actually about to say I can't wait for it to start like heating up, but it's not even really a thing because like you think of some major tournaments, it can be slow in like the round of 64. Like the games aren't super exciting, but this obviously like isn't the case. That you're like right already into like the immediate, um, like high level series. So it's interesting, different. Obviously, only 16 players in this tournament, so it was quite restrictive. And I was the top 16 players in the world, so of course they're all gonna be very talented. Yep, we get the early cast in. I think the plan was kind of to start the first cast on February 6th. The majority will be casted then, I believe. Um, we're just casting if any series are played early. That they said to go ahead basically cast tonight. So we're getting this one early series in. Get you guys a bit of a, I guess, a teaser. Get you excited for the whole tournament.
All right, I'm back. So let's go ahead and we got game 4 here on Florida. Let's jump right into it. So this will be interesting. This will be interesting to see. We got a French mirror as what we think. And there's British. And Mitoe said out. What does that mean? So this will be interesting. And then let's see what Turk's playing. So Germany versus British.
Oh, wow, I was wrong. Who's German? Is that Turk or?
Turk is German,
Okay.
and then Mito's playing British. So Mito with
Hmm.
the British counter.
Man, I'm excited to watch this one. Yeah, using Brits as
Brits
civ
to counter
counter.
Germany. This will be interesting.
Interesting.
Jezebab, thank you for the gifted sub to Iron Turtle. So thank you guys for all subscriptions and donations. These are going to go towards the next big ESOC championship. So we are expecting to have we usually do a seasonal championship. So we might not do a winter one, but we might do a spring 2021. And that one will be a little bit bigger. So any of your donations that you guys have will go towards that event.
All right, Mito dropping a trading post with Brits here. You start with the markets. So kind of, yeah, I guess it's a bit easier, right, to drop a trading post since you won't have to worry about like building a market and transition.
I wonder what Turk will do.
Is
So he already has hunting dogs, I believe. Yep, so he already has
Yep.
hunting dogs, and he's just gonna mine and buy
And
100
what was
wood.
he working on there? Is that 75 wood or
It's a 100
100
XP, which is a really good
That's
treasure.
that yeah, especially for German, right? If you can get that early, speed up that your villager shipment.
Yep, so it's like getting a TP without having to spend 200 wood.
Yeah, very nice.
And Mito's working on 75 wood. I wonder if he'll, so he has 75 wood coming in, but I wonder if he'll actually, if he'll do anything with that, or he'll just hold on until he gets, VC. Because I'm guessing he's going VC with the TP.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
And this is a nice thing that Mito's been doing. So if you have livestock in age 1, if you can look at his Fog of War, he just sent this sheep out and did a little exploring around his base so his explorer doesn't have to.
Yep, definitely want to get your sheep scouting in.
So if you have a little bit of extra APM in age 1 and you get a livestock, you can do a little bit of extra exploring there. Just looks like some typical stuff. Turk has stumbled upon 100 food. Mito's working on this 80 food treasure. So
It
both
should
of
be,
them.
yeah, it should be pretty good for Turk's pacing. Getting the XP treasure and 100 food kind of like speeds up the Germans there a bit.
And it almost looks as though it's going a little. Maybe not. Maybe it's a little slow. And Mito deleting his sheep to age up a little bit faster.
Can we take a look at Mito's deck? Curious to see what he's working with.
So I'm assuming VC.
Yep, VC, no water.
Ooh, spice trade. So this is another one of those that has the yield rate on it.
Wow,
So
yeah,
it would make his
good.
hunts last longer. And as British, that's something that they run into, is they run out of hunts. So
Yeah, it sounds really nice.
could be interesting. Maybe I wonder when he would send that. So he has Gang Saw coming out. And it's interesting to, I think he's probably just gonna have he's gonna get 100 food maybe, and then switch all of his villagers over. But he needs to send BC.
Yeah, don't forget to send it. There are some games where
There we
it
go.
goes it. Alright, so we'll have to see how Turk's gonna respond to this. If he obviously knows that Mito has a trading post built, so is Turk thinking? Is he kind of assuming like VC's coming out of Brits? Is he gonna try to be aggressive?
Well, he needs to start herding.
Yeah, Suns are quite far. Just gets that TP built.
I was curious, maybe he would do something like an FI, a German FI against Brit.
Yeah, it's definitely an option for German.
Because like they would, because you Brit gets to telegraph what they're doing usually. if they build a TP, you can assume usually they're going for a VC kind of build, of which you can probably get away with going some kind of FI.
Yeah, we might be seeing that, a second trading post being built by Turk. So, yeah, you see 2 TPs. That's a pretty good sign that the FI may be coming.
And Turk's just gonna have back-to-back shipments for a while. And he's still got hunting dogs and placer mines. And he aged 16 as well. So he ate a couple of these sheep to get up early. And he got a decent, he got quite a nice age 1 because he got his 4 vills in, or his 2 settler wagons in quick, along with the 100 wood treasure. So he's up quite early. On the other side, Mitoe doesn't have quite as many manners as I thought he would.
Yeah, dropped the barracks pretty early here, which is actually going to be really good for Turk because he's not dropping any military buildings. So by dropping this barracks early, I mean it's slowing down like Mitoe's house boom, but you have to worry about like the 2 free ulans from shipments. So yeah, sometimes you kind of feel like forced, like oh you have to drop the barracks to get some pikes out, but it's going to slow down the VC boom at least to some degree.
And unfortunately, Turk hasn't been able to scout anything because he was busy getting 2 treasures and then he built 2 TPs, so his explorer's been... He's been busy.
He's been busy at work. Shipping 700 gold now, so I guess the question is Turk trying to get up to H3 really quick, have a ton of XP, and just do like a really strong death ball push in H3? Or is he gonna go for the FI and try to get up to H4 and then go from there? Actually, can we take a look? Did we look at his deck? I'm curious of the H4 cards.
He doesn't have anything too crazy. So if he
Okay.
does do an FI, I mean, you definitely want 2 heavy cannons in there.
Yeah.
Things
I
like
guess I'm
that.
expecting right the H3 aggression. It's kind of a strange deck there.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the water piece of it, but I don't think Mitoe's gonna go water here.
Trying to do some raiding with the 2 lines, but Mitoe is on top of it with his pikes there.
And Turk can eat these 3 sheep in age right now if he wanted to. He doesn't have... Oh, he does have steel traps, so... This is kind of a naked FF. I mean, he didn't drop down a military build and hasn't built any units, so it does count as a naked FF. But
Yeah, I mean, I really like it. And you still have like 2 lines. You can be annoying with like 2 lines trying to raid. He hasn't been super active with them. I mean, he's trying to be cautious, and obviously Mitoe has a lot of line of sight,
yeah,
so
Mitoe
you
did
do
this
have to be really
beautifully.
careful.
You can see
Yeah.
from his line of sight, he just sees everything that'll come into line of sight. And where he doesn't have line of sight, he just parks his pikemen.
2 lines are gonna get hit there. 1 line going down, and Mitoe also dropping a stable. So I think he's committed to the H2. Like he's gonna play this out in H2 at least for quite a while because he's got a barracks, he's got a stable, he's shipping 5 bills, and he knows like German units could be coming fairly soon. So it's like he can't go H3 right now. Like that would be too much. It's like it's hard to VC boom and age up. That's very greedy. So I think he's gonna try to. He still has. Oh, he does have a shipment about to be available though, so he might ship 700 gold here though, and then with the 700 gold, that might allow him to start aging up fairly soon. If he tries to sneak that in. Nope. He looks like he's committing to the A2, I think.
Yeah, he's not going too greedy. He's going extremely greedy. And I like this. I mean, Mitoe's seen nothing, no units out, so he's just gonna walk over and start sieging down this trade post.
Yeah, it's very nice. Turk, I think he should call Miniman. He should have called Miniman as soon as he saw those spikes, I think. He doesn't have the gold for it, so he would have had to sell, but I think it would have been worth it to keep that trading post alive, and you'd kill at least 1 pike and scare them off. It's always like feels risky calling Miniman in this situation, but I think it's just worth it. That TP is gonna go down for free there.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Miniman would be worth it here, just to save that the TP.
He could try to counter push potentially with the Ulans, counter raid, but
The only thing is, I'm pretty sure Mitoe just has, I mean, all of his hunts are underneath the TC. So, Mitoe's done a great job of kind of containing the pressure by not really having any rating points. You might be able to get 1 or 2 up here, but there's just so much line of sight that it's very hard to get in and
Oh,
pick off
well,
these
look at
builds.
that. Yeah, look at those hussars just parked right there. Okay, they were just hanging out there, looking for the Ulan raid. But yeah, I like how Mito's playing this, like committing to the H2, and yeah, this actually just looks like a really good build, to be honest. Like committing to the H2 and being able to ship Spice Tray, that's actually, you know, new and pretty unique. You're gonna have such an eco with Brits here.
Oh, Turk might get a Vill or 2 here. He has some scrims back here. Is he upgrading? Yeah, so he has the veteran tech coming in and 8 scrim being shipped.
East House though, he's got another shipment available, so those 2 XPs were getting him a lot of XP obviously there. He's now down just to the 1, but needs to get some more houses up here.
Here comes 2 houses.
There you go.
So he will not, I mean, he'll only be able to be building it Ulans because he hasn't had the time, and here comes another 9 Ulan shipment coming in. So
And
he can actually look for a fight here.
his macro does look a bit off, a little bit too heavy on the food, especially if he's just going Ulans here. Mito's got a big mess there.
Yeah.
Nice little wall here from Mitoe. And Mitoe has just Longbowman coming out. He can be training. I wonder if he's looking to age.
Yeah, I think Mito's in a really good spot here. He just got so much time to VC boom and even mixing spice trade. Like he's looking in a really good spot. And yeah, now he's just gonna age up. And I mean, this is gonna have to be Turk's like window to push, right? He's gonna have to try to do some damage as Bird do this very long age up.
Yeah,
But
so
it still looks like Mitoe. I mean, he's got like a large army, perhaps a better army than Turk right now. But here we go, Turk getting ready to go in. He's got a lot of Ulans there. If he can micro this well and really take care of that pike count, and there aren't a ton of pikes, so
I mean,
there's a fair amount. But
yeah,
Turk's
21
gonna
vet
have to-
Ulans will do some work here.
Yeah, gotta really try to pull those pikes as much as you can, and snipe them. Might have done a good job.
Yeah, just poking.
Yeah, getting some shots in there with longbows and buying some time.
Gonna lose 1 or 2 of these vills over here.
Bereit, Auftrag? Ja.
5 husk popping.
And
Not
wait,
not
no,
not
don't
taking
fight.
the fight though.
What is? Yeah, he doesn't want to fight.
Yeah, yep, he's still aging. No need to. Just kind of scaring Turk off there. And yeah, I think Mito's looking to be in a really good spot. Turk's, you know, struggling to push in, struggling to force a fight. The 2 Ulan raids pretty nice there.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
mean, 1 go.
he
but-
does have. I mean, Mitoe does have a little bit of a timer that he's on because he's about to run out of hunts. But
Yeah.
still, I mean, looks as though he's doing quite all right. He might be able to
Oh.
snipe this stable as well.
Yeah, that's nice. It might have been just go time for those Ulans. I think they maybe should have just pushed on those longbows because you saw like pretty much all of Mito's husks are out of position. That actually could have been really good for Turk, perhaps, if he saw that like his 2 Ulans pulled nearly all of the husks kind of out of position. It could have been good for Turk to just
So
push there.
yeah, I
with all
think
the
Turk just runs back here.
Hier sind.
getting some good snipes on the pikes, but and this is kind of weird for Mitoe. He's like gonna take the fight. He's not aged yet though, but I guess it's go time for Mitoe. And that's a lot of hustle regardless. And there is the age up and the actual longbows coming. They're not fat husk, but
Yeah,
that's a lot of Brit units.
there's just a lot of Brit units here, and he's doing a great job sniping down those pikemen. Like, really good job. And now that these 3 war wagons are here to offer some more damage, but I think there's just husks are just too strong, and now Ulans are getting pulled in.
Yeah, Longbow's doing a good job trying to focus down those war wagons. 5 more reinforcing war wagons is really big there. Kind of lost 2 of those war wagons a little bit carelessly. But now these war wagons getting some pretty good shots in on the Huss. And those are still just regular Huss, right? That was very nice being able to kill that stable,
Yeah.
preventing Mitoe from being able to upgrade them for some time at least.
This is so funny. 5 Huss, 4 Huss.
Oh wow, yeah, that's pretty unique. No Cav combat instead there?
Yeah, no cap combat, so just 5 Huss, 4 Huss, and then vet Huss after that.
This is kind of like go time for Turk. Like if he could push before the vet Huss come in, but
Yeah, Turk hasn't killed. He's killed like 5 or 6 vills, but for the most part, he's quite behind. He does have amalgamation coming out, and the only issue is he's used, I think, 3 of his big 5 military shipments, and I think the trades have been pretty Mitoe favored.
Auftrag. Auftrag.
yeah,
But-
he's starting to get a pretty good mass here of skirms and war wagons, but yeah, there's gonna be a lot of units here for Mitoe. There's the vet Huss, accompanied by the longbowmen and some Minutemen.
Yeah, it'll depend if Turk can keep up the raids. I mean, he could be in a good. I mean, he could just run Mitoe around for long enough that he eventually gets a big enough army where he can right-click Mitoe, but it'll be tough. I like this double stable from British. Nobody does this, but I'm a big fan.
Yeah, yeah. It seems like the later you get in H3, like, you know, Cav kind of just scales so much better. You could potentially even go like Huss Goons and like, you know, Cav Combat, get Arsenal upgrades.
Huss Goons, Cav Combat, and then you got 2 more Cav upgrades.
Yeah, yep. How's Turk's army looking here? Adding in some more Ulans here.
I wonder if he's been skipping vills.
Yeah, I
Because
think
it looks
he
like
was
he's
for a
just
bit.
skipping vills and trying to get the biggest army out. Well, he has a vill coming in now, but
Mhm.
I think he just has to create a large army and just all in, hope to win a fight super hard. But I think if Mitoe stops building longbows and just goes Goon Hussar, he has enough longbows here that that's enough. And so I
Yeah.
hope he stops training longbows and just focuses on his cav, because his longbows will do the work on getting rid of that skirmisher count as well as sniping down the war wagons. But if you just have too many longbows, then you can get cleaned up by too many Ulans being on the field.
Yeah, and it's interesting. It looks like Mitoe was like really prepared for this series because in all 3 games he did a new build, like something that's essentially new to like DE. You know, he did the Silversmith game 1, game 2 he did the 5-bill auto, and game 3 pulling out the spice trade with Brits. So he did his homework.
Well, his French build didn't pay off with the triple
No,
racks X build thing, but
yeah, and right, and then he did the triple Rax Mixui build.
yeah.
Forget about that one.
But this one's looking
I feel me stronger now.
more interesting. Yeah, Mitoe hasn't broken that 50 vil cusp. He's been on it for like 5 minutes now, and so Turk's been doing a good job of sniping down vills and keeping his eco in check. But this
Here we
looks like
go,
this could
Turk.
be
Go time. That
there's
is
just
a good number of longbows, and he has
so much cav.
Yeah.
Turk's got a decent amount of cav as well, so they're about even in military population. Mitoe has 6 more units, but it just
Trying to move in for the flank with the Ulans.
seems as though the micro is a lot easier for Mitoe. Those
Yeah,
war
the
wagons are
German-
getting destroyed.
Skirm's trying to get off of the Huss there. A lot of longbows in the back.
Yeah, goons are doing great, killing all these Ulans over here. But all the Huss are gone. All the Huss are gone. The goons are almost gone. And there's a handful of these Ulans back. So there's 12 Ulans on the way.
Oh yeah, yeah. Those goons were really clutch actually. If you didn't have those goons, those Ulans probably would have survived a bit longer. And and even this like the reinforcing Ulan switch would just look that much scarier. But very good job
Yes.
mixing those
So
goons.
here it comes, and
Whoa.
in the
But-
meantime, he's been
Oh,
he's pulling all those away, and here comes go.
oh man!
If Turk just
if Turk just knew, if
Yeah.
he knew what we know.
So he maybe once he sees these goons back here,
Auftrag.
go.
In den Kampf.
Oh, he called Minutemen, I believe. It's go time, right? He called Minutemen. He's got to be pushing now. Then
Oh,
you
Mitoe.
saw those, maybe those two husks on the
Yeah,
side.
those
Those
two
longbows might be
husks.
really out of position, actually.
Oh yeah, here it comes. I don't think these goons
Oh
will
my
get there in
God.
time.
They're so far away.
These goons need to like run straight to these longbow.
Ulan's trying to connect. Good job pulling the longbows back. They're still kind of taking a while for Ulan's to get on top of them. Now, it looked like you could have tried to start that a little bit sooner, but here we go. Goons are getting some shots in, but
Yeah,
those
but
longbows are
there's
going quick.
longbow are gone, and this is good
German
Mitoe.
time.
Like Mitoe's micro is very good. He's sniping the Ulans pretty well. And
Yeah,
then there was two husks raiding over here that have been dealt with.
yeah, that was really well played there by by Mitoe microing and putting his units in that little choke point there. It looked like it could have been a way scarier for Turk. Obviously, he didn't have the information that like the casters have, so he didn't know to push in with Ulan sooner. But yeah, those longbows were really separated for a while, and Turk did end up pushing on them, but it took a little bit longer than like he really wanted for them to finally connect.
Hmm.
And now we got Mitoe pushing.
Oh, that's interesting. So he canceled the he was sending 2 Falcons, but he canceled it for Yeoman. And now Turk is his eco is quite exposed. It's just, can Mitoe find his eco? This could be a big raid. I'm not sure where those are going. Oh, they're coming too.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Uh-oh, the goons
Oh, no.
might intercept them. Good job, Turk, pulling them back. Goons might still get some hits in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of German units here, but I think there's just too many British units. Because Mitoe's been able to kind of dictate the pace of this game, he's been able to get out on the map.
Yeah, I would have really liked to see just like 2 Ulans try to hit that gold mine, or try to be annoying with like the 1 or 2 Ulan raids.
Yeah, I think Turk has done a good job with his small raids. Like I said, he's kind of kept Mitoe's eco in check. But at this point now, these villagers are under fire. And Mitoe now has a decent mass of these husks are just going to be such a good meat shield, and there's not enough war wagons to deal with them.
Yeah, he's got to really try to get out as much value out of these 3 war wagons, 1, 2 now, as possible.
Yep,
But
Mitoe
yeah, it's
doing a
lot
good
of
job
damage.
sniping those down, using his goons to DPS down the Ulans, and then there's just too much husks. And now his eco's here, so this is probably the end of it.
Yeah, alright, looks like Mitoe's gonna be taking this last game here.
So,
Really well played game though.
yeah, maybe Mitoe's onto something with the British counter pick to Germany. That's not what I would have expected.
Yeah, me either. I really liked his build though. That new spice trade with Brits. It sounds really good. Can you highlight that card again? Is it
Here's
I think
his
that's what
here's his
we're talking
build
about.
order. And what it does is it makes you gather from food 20% faster. And then it also makes the yield rate 10% more on hunts. So if you have 10 deer hunt, that's 4,000 food, but it's like you get an extra deer with every hunt that you have. So it'd be 4,400. And there's the GG, well played. So
All right.
Mitoe took it 3-1.
Yeah, really good series here. Turk winning his one game as Japan. I think a lot of people probably would have saw that coming. You gotta expect Red Turk to maybe win at least one game, get his Japan win in, as that's definitely his strongest civ. But yeah, Mito's got to be happy with that, winning his first series. You know, both these players being in the death group of Group A. Mito taking Turk out first, and now Mito's got to look at Samwise and Kaiser Klein.
Yeah, so Mito's completed step 1
Right, yeah.
of getting through, and so I mean he has a lot. I mean, there's still a long way to go.